I was in this beautiful, seemed to be like 10-story tall federal government building, FAA to be exact. Seemed as if it was just built a few months ago. And I was there with a woman who I'm mentoring to hold a capability brief in this elaborate conference room with this gorgeous view of the campus. The small business rep is there. And during the capability brief, she shared the following. I tell all of my clients, meaning all of us amazing small business owners, or soon to be, that you need to bring value. You need to lead with value. If you have a set aside, it's just icing on the cake. And that's what we're here to talk about today. All my amazing GovCon winners, why you should not rush out to get a set aside. No, 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 no. Counter to what everyone else is telling you, and I know you're already thinking, but why are you telling me the opposite? Well, I have been awarded over 50 million federal government contracts. And in case you're new here, my name is Dr. Kizzy Parks. Often there's this myth that's created. You get a set aside, woman-owned, veteran-owned, 8A, hub zone, Indian-owned, and it's just going to rain down on you. You're going to get all of this work. It happens all of the time. I had a woman reach out to me who is retiring soon, and she shared that her coworkers said to her, oh my goodness, just become a service disabled vet, you're going to win all this work. There is a gentleman I came across who was an existing business owner. He went forward, got his 8A. He's had it for a year. Guess how many contracts he has been awarded by the federal government? Yeah, 0. So let's kind of take that step back that I like to do. And let's really dig deep into when the small business rep said, you must lead with value. You must offer value. The set-asides are just icing on the cake. That's what we're going to dig into now. Because too often, business owners, whether you have an established business, you have an idea, maybe you're thinking of getting into this space, the first thing you think about doing is, I need to get all these set-asides, and once I have them, then I can bid on work. So here's a key thing I want to share with you. Unless you are a large company or you acquire a large government contracting company, every single one of you watching, which I'm so grateful to each and every one of you, you're considered a small business. That means you're already narrowing the playing field. So out the gate, as soon as you are officially registered to receive prime contracts on sam.gov, you are a small business. So bam, you can win a lot of work as a small business. Your focus needs to be on how do you go about winning federal government work? That's where we're focused. That's first and foremost. Next, as you're thinking about that or going through it, you must also realize what is the value add you are providing. What is it? So for instance, for my flagship company, there's no stopping us. There's no task too big. There's no task too small, because we understand that the reason federal government contracting is a space is to make the federal government's life easier, be it corn, laptops, a special technology, staffing, you're providing air traffic control services, you're painting, you're paving, you're building buildings, you're providing security in Israel. It does not matter. Doesn't matter. You are making their life easier. They have a pain, they need something solved, and they're looking to you to provide that. So you have to think about, what is your value add? Because there's thousands upon thousands upon thousands of us out there, and there's new companies that enter this space every single day. The SBA has said it can take 14 to 16 months to get your first government contract, which for some of you, you may think, oh my gosh, that's a long time. Others, wow, that's really fast. I'm in the camp of, that's really fast. And of course it can be faster. Keep following my channel. Y'all going to be extremely successful too, because you're GovCon winners. That's why you're here, right? I'm sharing everything that I know with you. So when it comes to that value, how are you really different from the competition. It is not, we put the client first. No, everybody says that. We are on time and under budget. That's something you put in a proposal. Everybody says these things, right? So you really have to dig deep. What is it that really makes you different? So for instance, and today it's in the background, I have a PhD in industrial organizational psychology. That is what really started to set me and my flagship company apart, because there aren't that many people who have a PhD from a brick and mortar university who are also providing federal government contracting services and are focused on training, curriculum development, and staffing. So the added value, it's not this big fancy degree, y'all. It's applying research to solve whatever problem our client had, be it incorporating the latest, greatest research and techniques into training, incorporating the latest, greatest into staffing. That's one of many things that help set us apart. So you have to ask yourself, what helps set you apart? Very vital. Next, you need some type of experience. So I mentioned you have to figure out how to find, how to bid, all of those types of things, which you can check out my other videos because I go deep into those topics. So you still need some practice, right? Because it's easy on the sidelines to say, I could do a much better job. I should be president. I should own this company. I would be a great leader. I invented that first. I thought of Google. I invented Uber. It was really me. Got it. It's easy to be on the sideline. It's a whole new world, right? When you're actually in it and you're figuring out how to deliver what you deliver to your client, how to then handle bookkeeping and taxes and paying your bills and your life and your family and your kids. And so you also need to actually execute what you offer. So for those of you, maybe you're an experienced business owner, that's amazing, because in many ways you're ahead, but not exactly, because you still need experience with those in the government arena if you haven't had that. And for those of you that have zero experience, that's okay. You're actually in a really great place, meaning that you have so many options out there to gain experience. You can gain it by reaching out to prime contractors to see if they need someone like you with your expertise. For those of you who are really solid around why you stand out and the value you add, all you need to do is, little warning, this website sometimes is slow. It's not my website. You go to Dynamic Small Business Search. You go to that website, you enter in a key term, a NAICS, a city, no city, and you start contacting all of these prime contractors. Everyone who's listed in there is listed in sam.gov. They have stated that they're okay with their contact information being shared. So that's a great place to start. You get to know them, you talk to them, you see if they have a need for someone like yourself. That is something, an approach that I use starting out. And that's how I brought on team members, because when I first started, my lane was diversity and inclusion. I needed experienced diversity and inclusion facilitators, and often it was individuals who weren't registered in SAM, or maybe they had experience with the federal government, but not as a contractor, but they were open and looking for different opportunities. And also early on, I partnered with a company who was looking for someone with my background, with my analytic skills, and we worked with them for 10 plus years, all because I found them in an email. Amazing. So the key is you're adding value. You're figuring out how to bid. Another key with all of this is also you're staying positive, okay? So as you're reaching out, as you're figuring this all out, as you're focusing on your value add, this is all before you rush out to apply for veteran-owned or small business or 8A or any of these set-asides, because remember, you're a small business. You also have to stay positive. I've heard this, what I'm about to share with you, many, many times. Kizzy, I took your advice. I reached out to some companies and they weren't really nice, or they didn't return my call, and this doesn't really work. Okay, how many did you reach out to? Because it has to be more than 5. Second, you have to remember people are people, and all it takes is one person, one business owner to say, hey, you know what? We're really looking for additional help with our cleaning business. Hey, let's have a conversation so we can talk more. That's all it takes. Recently, I received an email from a joint venture who said, hey, you know, we are in the IT space. We noticed that your flagship company is on this GSA schedule. We would love to talk to you. And you know what? I was like, okay, this makes sense because I would love additional IT help. So why not? All from an email. I've had a couple of phone calls with them and have another meeting coming up. So you see how it works both ways by you constantly reaching out. And then there's those on the receiving end who we have a need. And that's what you're trying to figure out and find because you need experience. That's the other big key. You have to have some type of experience. Now I want you to hear me out. You don't have to have exact experience in every single thing that you're bidding on because for all my seasoned GovCon winners, y'all know it's based on the requirements of the actual proposal. But for the sake of today's video, you just need a little bit of experience because you want an agency to also trust you. How do we form trust? Based on social proof, experience, evaluations, things of that nature. So one way to gain experience is through reaching out, partnering, and gaining experience that way. So adding on to staying positive. You got to stay positive because people may not pick up the phone. They may not want to talk to you, but despite it all, please reflect on this. You're interested in this space. You're interested in no longer working for someone, for living the life you've always wanted to live, for taking a day and making it your own and not being told where you need to go or when you can take lunch or asking permission for a vacation. So by getting through this, and when I say getting through this, I mean persevering, reaching out, putting yourself out there, being vulnerable, because you're going to expose yourself to a lot of no's, staying positive. Your resistance level will just continue to increase. And the more successes you have, hey, I called 200 people today and, you know, at least 2 of them responded to me. That's a success, right? You're getting closer, you're getting closer, you're getting closer. You're going to then be able to look back. And when you have that first contract win, you're going to say, wow, it was worth it. And you're going to stay the course. And that's what's vital. May not be the easiest road, but I can tell you this, it's super rewarding. So all my amazing GovCon winners, don't rush out to get these set asides. And I do have a couple more tips for you. I know I'm making this a little long. So here are some other kind of myths in this space. I've been told, well, Kizzy, well, I get an 8A and then I get assigned this person and then they help me, right? They're just going to give me contracts because my friends got an 8A and they get all this money. My response to things like that, and I mean this, and I also love music. If this world of 8A and government contracting was so easy and so lucrative for everyone, you would hear about it in all the hot rap songs. You would hear about it all of the time and you never hear about it. So the thing is, can you make millions and millions of dollars in federal government contracting with a set aside or without a set aside? Of course. If you get a set aside such as an 8A, is there this magic rainmaker out there that's just going to give you contracts? No, they're not. More than likely, guess what they're going to be focused on? Compliance. Did you fill out this form? Did you update your profile? They're going to be focused on these things that take away from what your focus should be. And when I started this video out, I talked about the importance of experience and you getting work. You need business. You need to be able to show that your business or your idea works and you enjoy doing it at some level. And when I say doing it, I don't mean you're running the business and doing the work. It's just in the sense that you enjoy it. It gives you love. It gives you joy. It gives you pleasure. That's what's vital. Now, the SBA, Small Business Administration, they're available to you regardless. Even if you're not in SAM.gov, you can use these services. Just keep in mind, and this is also why I suggest you kind of slow it when it comes to rushing to get these set asides, is about 95, 99% of SBA employees have never had their own company before. Are there things that they can share with you? Of course. That's value added? Of course. Is there experience and information that they can share that no one on YouTube can share? Of course. But when it comes to actually running a profitable federal government contracting company, they're not the go-to. So it's very important that you maybe seek out a mentor, you get additional guidance, because you're going to only go so far. And it doesn't even matter the type of set aside. Let's say you end up service disabled or veteran owned. Again, yes, there's a slew of amazing